From KQTV St. Joseph, this is KQ2 News at 10.
The state of Missouri has over 400 different bird species that either migrate through here or nest here. Some of these species did make an appearance at the festival today, but if you want to catch a glimpse of some of the other ones, you'll have to keep your eye on the sky. Missouri Veterans Home in Camden, Missouri held an intense game of wiffle ball. It was veterans and staff against the KC Wolf. But the real question is, who came out on top?
Nice hit.
Grab your cowboy hat, chaps, and riding boots and take a trip back to the Wild West of the year 1860. So again, tomorrow at noon is when it all starts, correct? Right, okay, and then you guys can come out tonight. A crash report show Azik was hit by a truck driven by 27-year-old Caitlin Erickson of Shawnee, Kansas. She was not injured in the crash. At this point, there are no details available regarding the initial crash that caused Azik to stop and get out of his vehicle. It was Sunday afternoon about 1 p.m. Police found out they had a situation on their hands after a female student called in a report saying she had been raped on campus. The alleged rape happened in the South Complex dormitories in the shadows of where the Bearcat football team won their national championship last fall. Walkers went along this 3-kilometer trail once with an empty bucket and again with a full jug of water. This walk is supposed to symbolize the journey that many people in developing countries take on a daily basis to fetch water. Those who organized the Amelia Earhart Festival say the pilot of the plane did fly during last night's air show in Atchison. They say there were no issues during the display last night and that Lennox's flying ability left the crowd in awe. When they heard of the crash this morning, they were shocked. Over 30,000 people are here in Atchison, Kansas to celebrate the birthday of Amelia Earhart. People come from all over the country and even the world to see music, entertainment, a live air show, and the biggest fireworks display in the Midwest. Authorities did confirm that the first house fire call on the 14th and Patey Street was caused by fireworks. However, authorities have not determined what caused this house fire at the corner of 6th and Hall Street. And as you can see behind me, the fire did leave quite a bit of damage. Flames could be seen shooting from not one but two separate structures Friday night. The Buchanan County Fire Department responded to the first call in an abandoned home on 14th and Patey Street. The second happened on the corner of 6th and Hall.
We came down, we was heading north and about 10:10, and we just saw the west side of the building on flames by the tree. It was just a little bitty flame when we first called it.
Fire inspectors said the first flames were caused by fireworks. The cause of the second fire is not yet determined, but authorities aren't ruling out fireworks as well.
Like I said, I haven't had a chance to talk to anybody, and I haven't heard anything along those lines, but I wouldn't rule it out because I heard a lot of them going off tonight. So,
authorities confirmed one fireman who responded to both calls suffered minor injuries, but said he was back to work the next morning.
He's one of them that was in there working hard when they were allowed inside and got out, and he just wasn't feeling right, so as a precaution, he's headed out to the hospital.
The scene behind me is the aftermath of the second fire that happened at North 6th and Hall Street. Witnesses told KQ2 that the fire began around the west side of the building, about where I'm standing, and as you can see, not much is left.
The interior walls have been collapsing. They've still got a couple hot spots they're trying to get to, but we don't want to risk anybody getting hurt for a building that's going to be demolished in a few days anyway.
Fire inspectors said it will be up to the city to determine the future of the structures. The homes will either be demolished or red tagged as abandoned. Witnesses say they were glad to see the homes were vacant.
Well, I saw the red tag on the windows, so it was a relief knowing that I don't think there was anybody in there.
Reporting in downtown St. Joseph, Brooke Anderson, KQ2, your local news leader. In July 1937, Amelia Earhart's plane vanished, and many experts believe she had crashed and died in the Pacific Ocean.
Weeks of search activities produced no clues. Amelia Earhart was gone.
Now, a newly released 80-year-old photo shows Earhart and her navigator Fred Noonan may have survived the crash after all.
You know, I think the first initial reaction with me is always a little bit of skepticism, only because there have been so many things like this over the years.
The History Channel is reporting the photo supports a theory that suggests Earhart landed on the Marshall Islands and was taken prisoner by the Japanese military on the island of Saipan.
There's been a lot of rumors through the years about Amelia being taken, so the story fits with that, but I'd like to see some more evidence.
But Prejean said this is a story she has heard before from a friend whose family is from Saipan.
We can't remember if it was her grandmother, maybe it was an aunt, she is from Saipan, and who told her when she was very young, that there was this Caucasian lady and that they thought it might have been Amelia Earhart.
Unfortunately, this story doesn't have a happy ending either.
That story was that this lady, whoever this lady was, died of dysentery.
And while it doesn't prove the new theory, it does have some Earhart experts questioning what they had believed these past 80 years.
I do definitely think it could be her in the picture. But I always thought they went down north and west into the ocean. So it's going to change my theory if it happens.
Many people say they aren't sure if they want to find out the truth because they enjoy the mystery that surrounds Amelia Earhart.
You know, it's funny. I don't know that I really want them to figure it out because the mystery's so much fun.
You know, personally, I've always said I hope they never figure it out because I like the mystery that surrounds her. But there are a whole lot of people who want to know. So.
A family stood back and watched a home that had been in their name since 1918 burn to the ground.
It's sad to see it go because we have a lot of childhood memories here. I had my little one here.
The family said the feeling of watching their home turn to ash is bittersweet. They're sad to see it go, but looking forward to building a new home to replace the old one.
It's kind of sad, but it's good because we're moving on. We're building new memories in the new house. But the farm is still, the farm's growing. The farm's still here, so.
There to help the family burn the home was the South Central Buchanan County Fire Department. They use this controlled house fire situation as a training tool.
Sometimes we can get these to where we can use it as a training opportunity, and today we was able to do that and do some interior attack training.
The lesson began with smoke training, which Grubb said allows the firemen to experience the heat of a real fire.
We went in and just had a few pieces of furniture that we kind of lit on fire and let the fire build a little bit, and then get some smoke in there, let the guys feel what it's like and see the smoke and stuff and feel the heat. That way when we get an actual fire that we have to try to save a home on, we can go in and guys don't get too nervous doing it.
But there are several steps that go into a live burn training. The Clean Air Act of Kansas City doesn't allow homes to burn anything that gives off a large amount of black smoke.
We had to take the roof off. We had to take all the tile and all this
layers of linoleum.
Yes, in the house. So, I mean, we did a lot of work to get the house ready for them to use it.
The fire department says they don't get training opportunities like this very often, but when they do, it's a great learning tool for some of their newer firemen.
And the more training you do, the better you get at your job and just more efficient that we can become.
Brooke Anderson, KQ2, your local news leader.